So yeah, maybe we'll do in group. So this is fruit fly is always a big problem for us, huh? So this keeps the fruit flies
Oh my god.
here.
It's not attracted.
Yeah.
Or male fruit fly.
Yeah. The women are not bothered, only the men.
Yes. We trap men in order to avoid mating between them. To avoid the
mating.
if they lay their eggs in your food, they will become a larva. So it will turn to worm. Then it will cause the parang ano nga, sir,
It will go in your fruit and become
bore the fruit.
Yeah.
and it destroys the fruits.
Destroy the fruit. Yeah. We had in Palau right now, so.
So this helps us from preventing them from. It helps the fruits now. I mean, we tried bagging before, but it's so labor intensive. Trying to bag one bag over every fruit. It's really tough.
What's in the bottle that attracts the male flies?
Viagra.
It's a larva.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
you're recording me.
Yeah, we'll edit that.
Methyl eugenol. It's a liquid that attracts most male fruit flies. It smells like female fruit fly. That's why they entered inside the trapper.
Yeah.
They're suffering from starvation because they didn't get out.
There's no way to get out.
So this one tree, how many of these? Just one?
I would probably recommend maybe 3 to 4. Depends on
The
the.
size of this tree?
Actually, the radius for the smell of the lure will be range from 20 meters up to 25 meters. So it's not a problem if you have an hectare land to make a trap like that. Or you can make use of a temporary trapper like empty bottle. You have to make a hole on it, but you have to put an attractant.
Okay, so they won't come out.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for me personally, I recommend this. I've tried both types, and the water's kept out from this. And what I do when they die, I feed it to our chicken. So this is full of protein and calcium. Yeah, so here I'm always looking for protein. It's always my problem. We don't have enough protein to. It's like us. The more protein, the more meat we have. Yeah, it's calcium.
And most of the fruit flies are attracted to color yellow. That's why yellow is there.
Yeah.
So if you're wearing yellow shirt inside
Be
your farm,
careful.
or you're wearing yellow, like monitoring your farm, insects will attracted to you. That's why sometimes you can see there are insects in your shirt because they're attracted to you. And also we're putting some yellow flowerings inside the garden. Instead of attracting into your plants, they will get attracted to the flower.
Yellow color?
Yellow. All yellow colors are
color,
attracted to. Yes. Like sunflower, marigold. Marigold is very beneficial. Any kind of
garden there are sunflowers.
they're putting it as border plants on your garden for protection.
That can be for ornamental.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course.
Okay, we'll proceed. I'm Julie Ann Sansait, an agriculturist from Harvest Agribusiness Corporation, and I was here as requested by Sir Nelson Scott to discuss you all guys the organic farming and also the prevention of pests and diseases to your crop organically. So a while ago we talked about the fruit fly trapper, and fruit fly trappers are we are using, or we are putting an pheromone, a sex pheromone, which smells like female fruit fly, and we're putting it on a trapper, just a drop, to make them attracted inside and to kill them through starvation, because they can't pass out in a trapper. So why we are using that is, instead of fruit fly will attack your fruits, they will just go inside the trapper because they thought that there's a female fruit fly inside. So that's the reason why. And we are trapping the male fruit fly in order to avoid the population growth of fruit flies, because when female becomes pregnant like us, they will multiply. And if they will multiply, so disaster to your crops.
Okay, and then there's a demonstration of enzyme that we use.
Okay.
This is EM1. It's an effective microorganisms. Effective microorganisms has three basic principal microbes: the phototropic bacteria, the yeast, and lactic acid bacteria. Those three has main purpose in composting and composting through fermentation and avoiding the odor or foul odor in your places like pig pen or poultry and piggery also. This can work, and also we're going to apply this on composting. If you're about to apply this, we have to mix this to water and the molasses. This is the food for microorganisms. Molasses came from sugar or from sugar cane.
Yeah. Oh.
So we have to mix this 30 ml of EM1 to 30 grams of molasses is to 1 liter of water. So we're mixing it in order for us to save, because this one is 100 worth 150 here in the Philippines. So we have to save a lot. So we have to mix this in 1 liter of water, and if we use this, we have to dilute it again into pure water. So it's very cost effective. Like for example, if you are applying it into composting, you have to just mix 30 ml of this solution into 1 liter of water, then spray to your compost. It will hasten decomposition, and also if you're putting it on your crop, it will become most resistant to diseases also, because it has beneficial microbes. They can fight, so it develops the resistance of your plants. And also for soil, it activates the nutrients coming from the soil. Whatever you put in the soil doesn't mean your plants are absorbing all the nutrients you are putting, but you don't know that some other nutrients are just staying in the soil. So we are putting this to activate the nutrients. Yeast would be the major fungi to work with this kind of action in your field. So we have to mix this 30 ml. Well, I'm just estimating usually if I'm in the
Using
field.
the cover.
Yes. If we are 30 ml, kaya 30, 1 cup. This is very sticky since it's high grade. Some other molasses are not non-sticky.
But the sticky one is the high grade.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sir. Then be sure that the water is non-chlorinated. If it's chlorinated, it's useless since it has chlorine and it's living microorganism, so useless. So you have to put
rainwater.
yes, sure. And if you don't have source for non-chlorinated water, you have to get a chlorinated water and just set aside it for almost 24 hours to remove the odor of chlorine and also the chemical content coming from chlorine. So that's our technique in order to neutralize our chlorinated water. Then if we mix this, we can ferment this for 1 week before using. 7 days.
7 days before you see.
In order to multiply the microorganisms.
Will that be in this process that you are distributing? This information will be in the brochure?
Yes, I gave you the brochure, and the ration proportion was also there written. And if we are going to mix this, we have to shake na lang. Because if we have spoon or what, you can stir it. But it's just like you're making a coffee. Then after fermenting it for 1 week, you can use it in your composting, in your problems in your piggery and poultry. You can just get 2 teaspoons per liter, or if you have many or a lot of plants to spray, you can use a container coming from a sardines, which is 150 ml equivalent. Then you have to measure one of it per knapsack sprayer or per 16 liters of water. That can work as a microbial inoculant. It's a probiotic. Are you aware of Yakult? Yakult in the Philippines, not. But a probiotic that if we drink it, our digestion will become or will be improved. Instead of dito lang sa Philippines siguro, no?
Meron silang Yakult doon.
Okay. So this one, we have to ferment this for 14 days before using. But for now, as a demo, we can still use this. But we didn't think about the price. So if we are using this, just 1 cup of this per one like this, or no overdosing since it's microorganisms. 1 pail of water and 1 to 2 cups of this, and spray into your compost in order to facilitate composting easily. So
But can we spray it directly to the plants also?
yes, ma'am. You can't limit your doing in that, but
No limitations ma'am, spraying.
yes, but you have to consider also if you're using such chemicals, you don't need to apply EM. Like for example, you're applying synthetic chemicals right now. In the afternoon, you have to spray EM. It's very useless because our microorganisms will die. So you have to think that this is organic and this is a living microorganism. So we have to care about its life.
So if you use that on the plants, you don't need to put pesticides.
You have to you have to make a pesticide out of this.
Oh, okay.
You have just to have chopped chili pepper and all of the. Do you have repellents like flowers, marigold? You can chop those items or those parts and you can incorporate here.
After 7 days.
After 7 days fermentation. So the extract of those plants will be mixed to this, and this it will serve as your pesticide. Okay. If you have gin or beer, you can just mix beer, vinegar, or other repellents like garlic, ano pa ba, onions, like, chop it and you'll mix it 2 to 3 weeks after fermentation. You have your own pesticides and repellents. You just add beer and gin. Beer can help, or gin can help repel other insects, and the vinegar purpose for irritation of ants, aphids, or any kind of. And if you are adding chili, it's very effective. Yes, but not too much. Too much hot pepper will cause burning to your plant leaves. So not too much. It's gram lang. Okay. Any other questions for this?
So where can we get those chemicals?
These are not chemicals, so you can coordinate.
No, I'm talking about this two.
The molasses.
The EM1 and molasses. These are all available in our office. We have the contact number there. And if you have some questions, you can ask the preparation of Sir Scott. We didn't bring anything right now.
Numbers, this is at Pasig ma'am. Tapos marinig.
Kamu, saan dia kalabat yung hapon? Kaya hindi incorporator, saan dia kalabat yung?
Supernet. It is a sticker paint that attracts white flies, fruit flies, leaf miners, aphids, and thrips, and all other kind of flying insects that can trap here. They will just stick it at the bottle and they will dry.
There.
Unlike for those fruit fly trappers we saw a while ago, that it was living inside the trapper. Through this,
Will die.
this will stick on this and will die soon. Okay. It's not just like it's not only fruit fly trapped here, but also for aphids and leaf miners. Plastic mulching is the cover for plant. Each colors, the colors are silver and black. Silver must be put up, while under is the black color. Silver will reflect the sunlight, bounce back. The technique for planting an off-season crop using a protective culture net is called tunneling film. Low tunnel. You don't have to invest much for the greenhouse, but you just have the tunneling film or the UV treated film to install in your plot to protect it against heavy rains and also for too much sunlight. This is also a simple way to have a nursery. You don't need to put up a greenhouse if you don't have so much budget, but you will need just like this, a bed and a cover, a net cover to protect against insect pests.
for lunch.
We're using seedling trays here in order for the seedlings to grow permanently.
I use it for. Anyway, you guys know papaya, you know pepper, you know everything. Actually,
Those pepper was organic, so it's very attractive.
last year with the Guam mayors came here when we planted that.
That's the advantage of your organic. It looks like young compared to synthetic growers. The plants will be shortened. Okay, those tunneling films you can saw in the video are for protection of your crops. Kahit even if it's a rainy day, you can still plant high-valued crops like broccoli, cabbage, lettuce, and any other crop or any other species of crop you wanted to plant in off-season cropping. So that the purpose of those UV films protects your plant against strong winds, strong rains, and heavy rains. And very hot weather. So that's the main purpose of that UV treated film. You don't need to install a very high value greenhouse if you have that kind of low tunnel type nursery or low tunnel type garden.
Balat na lang pare.
Adam Dios, agi pangan maram relal sikang ito ubit sa mere nga sule merupa. Agi mere nga sule melpot el kire la beluma. Mara adal ngar ulbi, le mara ka aka benur ka mam, maru bul nga pang. Mara adal ablu ro ku agi mere nga sule merupa altir mutir gel ablu tar sange sultiran. Kemle sa pa meduli omrolla melme ka mam tial ngar tarla ka relal sis. Ngar tial alifar mengal abal onar ngi ya adra guam. Agi nga sule merubah lagi dalam rumah dan merkamah merah hasil serakin ger kerongim dudul merelam meral mengasire ngaflung yolem el dia ngasong serkamam mati hamta ram sule rubah lagi diol tang serkau ya diol ni terong tikai gerkau pemobang kamam mol muter sensin sengki pemurai agel mede el sin sengki molat kahir kemorangi pemobang kamam memo makrar kamam agi moto kubet semdulu igire lengkal mapiin matlungal karngit tial el sersel bo mo maknal tanga termi e di kan mo maknal tanga tagel kala di bo mo lain bot pisela tanga merupa agi bo ngai la bolse e vai bot pisela tanga mel al moral pelasis e ka bol mo maknal tanga tertire di kan mo bo kamam umro lam mo mo tra ka sene kay gay on mam nga klem agi mrenga sulem ka do sa mam Mora. Amen.
Amen. All right, let's eat. You want me to serve you? Come on, let's eat, guys. Girls, ladies.
Oy, ang mga
yang melalui nilai KBST itu yang geraknya. Padahal ada rasa seperti biasa ya.
Ayo. Just act normal, ate, uyas. Ay, kain tayo. You don't want to
Kaya, baka may pamura ka man na mo sa kaya mga mas ako na biasa.